Hello everyone, and welcome to my Bold and Beautiful Today channel. Does a head injury affect memory? Liam wakes up believing he's married to Steffy? According to previews for The Bold and the Beautiful, Liam Spencer may wake up believing he is married to Steffy Forrester. Will Liam's memory be affected by his head injury? Liam and Bill Spencer engaged in a heated argument in the episode that aired on April 3rd. Spencer chastised his son for his hesitant conduct, which caused him to make mistakes with Steffy and Hope Logan, Annika Noel. In the meantime, Steffy spoke highly of Liam to Ridge Forrester. B&B emphasized Steffy's enduring relationship with Liam and her unwavering concern for him. Given that Liam is currently experiencing a serious medical crisis, all of that seems significant. Liam may have given away the direction of his story when he keeled over in Bill's living room and struck his head while falling. Is there a reason why Liam was struck in the head in the show? Is it possible that they are creating an amnesia scenario? B&B might learn from their mistakes if they go back to a 2022 plotline. Steffy eventually woke up believing Liam was still her husband after Sheila Sharp shot her and John Finn Finnegan in the alley. In reality, of course, Steffy was married to Finn, who was then thought to be dead. Once Steffy learned the truth, it was a devastating blow, but everything turned out okay since Finn miraculously returned. Maybe now Liam will wake up and think Steffy is his wife. Liam's memories becoming jumbled might lead to a great deal of turmoil. The show might be attempting to reunite Liam and Steffy since it appears like Steffy will be the one to save him at the Spencer estate. It would definitely work for a plot in which Liam wakes up believing that he and Steffy are a happy couple. No matter what happens, Steffy will undoubtedly be drawn back toward Liam as a result of his medical experience. According to teasers for The Bold and the Beautiful, Liam may make some predictions about his future with Steffy after he regains consciousness. Keep checking back for any intriguing developments. Does Bill come clean after Liam's collapse? The CBS soap opera Bold and the Beautiful sets the stage for a remorse-stricken Bill Spencer to eventually respond to Liam Spencer's query following his son's breakdown and subsequent hospitalization this week. Bill denigrated Liam in an impolite and nearly malevolent manner. All his son wanted to know was why his father had aided Luna Nozawa, the murderer. However, Bill quickly finds out that his action puts two of his boys in risk after hearing from another side. It appears that Bill is at his breaking point. He might have to reveal the true reason he kept Luna in his house and arranged for her forgiveness. Spoilers for Bold and the Beautiful, Liam Spencer pleaded for the truth but Bill Spencer remained icy. This week on The Bold and the Beautiful, Liam Spencer only asked his father, Bill Spencer, for the truth. He was curious as to why Bill had pulled the threads that freed Luna Nozawa. Spoilers about Bill and Liam Spencer from Bold and the Beautiful. Bill insulted Liam rather than responding to his son. Rather than answer Liam's query, Bill was prepared to end their relationship. Bill exiled his kid from his house as a result. He gave sour parting remarks when the publishing behemoth left. He advised Liam to avoid being there upon his return. Liam had no choice but to stay there. Liam experienced a medical incident following Bill's departure. He fell and struck his head as a result. He then remained there by himself, unconscious on the ground. Thus, Liam was deeply shaken by Bill's nasty actions. It's unclear what will happen to Liam, and Bill probably feels terrible about what he said to his son. Perhaps even enough guilt to respond to his query at last. Spoilers for B&B, does Bill keep something secret? Let's examine what Bill Spencer did on Bold and Beautiful this week when Liam brought up Luna. Bill doesn't answer to anyone, least of all his children. He has only ever stated that the two had similar tragic upbringings as the reason he assisted Luna. However, no one, not even Liam Spencer, finds this appealing. Bill refused to provide a convincing explanation for his actions during Liam's interrogation of his father this week. But he told his son something strange. Liam claimed he didn't understand why he had released Luna. He will, Bill assured him. However, they did not go into further detail to support that claim. Viewers of Bold and the Beautiful don't believe that he helped Luna because of his same upbringing. Social internet is rife with thoughts about why he did something so risky. Spoilers for Bold and the Beautiful, Liam suffers from his father's act, followed by Will Spencer. In The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers, doctors, including Grace Buckingham, are in the emergency room surrounding Liam, and there is an ambulance at the Spencer mansion. Bill Spencer is finally beginning to see the effects his choice to assist Luna is having on his family. However, it doesn't end here. Liam is currently in the hospital because he was so angry at his father's role in releasing Luna. Bill Spencer then witnesses yet another terrible outcome of his action on Bold and the Beautiful. Katie Logan, his mother, probably confronts Bill when her son Will Spencer confides in her about Luna's interest in him. The fact that Luna has Will under her control infuriates Katie. She will undoubtedly attack Bill Spencer. 2 of his sons will thereafter be in danger as a result of his choice. It appears that Bill is at his breaking point. Luna's attempt to entice Will into bed probably does the trick for the publishing behemoth, if Liam's medical emergency isn't enough. It appears that Bill is forced to disclose the true reason he received Luna's pardon, since Luna is encroaching on his world like poison. Is the CBS serial opera preparing for another Luna twist? Why Bill Spencer did what he did for someone who is said to have no obligations will only become clear with time. Is Liam Spencer saying goodbye with character quits? According to previews for the April 2nd episode of The Bold and the Beautiful, Bill Spencer and his son Liam Spencer, Scott Clifton, got into a heated argument to the point where the latter quit his job at Spencer Publications. Bill interfered with Luna Nozawa's parole and pardon for killing 2 people, which caused Liam and Bill to dispute. What was he contemplating? Now that Daddy is out of work, what will the Nepo baby do? Let's examine the Waffle's most recent maneuver and how it might alter the canvas. Liam leaves the Spencer Publications company. Other than his profession, Liam has nothing. If Liam simply quit, does it mean the character is departing B&B? Fans haven't seen him do much in the past few months, at least. When Liam is with someone like Hope Logan, Annika Noel, he seems to be the main focus. She picked Carter Walton, Lawrence St. Victor, and since that relationship is in ruins, he is currently licking his wounds. Would Lope be able to bike again? Are Hope and Liam's relationship objectives? We would first need to make sure that Ivy Forrester isn't considering him. We haven't seen her and Liam together for a while, but she flirted wildly with him when she returned to town. We have the ideal position for Liam if he is committed to being a bachelor for the time being, love advisor to younger brother Will Spencer. Will, who is unsure of how patient he will be with Elector Forrester's chasteness, is being pawed by Luna. Like Will, Liam has been in relationships with Hope and Steffy Forrester, Jacqueline McInnes Wood. Liam is the best person to guide him through the triangle. Do you concur? Will Liam make it through his job cut? Would Steffy offer Liam a pitiful position at FC if he is indeed out at Spencer Publications? In that case, Liam would be well positioned to counsel Will and perhaps approach his ex-partners, Steffy and Hope. Steffy might feel sorry for her baby daddy, and Liam at FC has a direct view of Shin's marriage failing. What do you want to see happen to Liam next, B&B fans? After a medical crisis, Liam Spencer's life is in limbo. Is this the end? Fans are left wondering if Scott Clifton is departing The Bold and the Beautiful after rumors indicate that Liam Spencer passes out following a furious altercation with Bill. What will happen to the children who depend on their father, given his uncertain future and the possibility that Hope and Steffy would have to live without him? As medical crises strike, Liam Spencer's life hangs in the balance. The Spencer family is transformed by a startling medical emergency. Following a heated argument with his father, Bill Spencer, Liam Spencer abruptly passed out. Bill threatened to cut off his son's financial support when the contentious dispute, which revolved upon his controversial defense of convicted killer Luna, got out of hand. "You're dead to me," Bill said, delivering the heartbreaking sentence that might haunt him for the rest of his life, before storming away. He had no idea how frighteningly prophetic those statements would turn out to be. Liam was alone in Bill's mansion when he abruptly became disoriented and had blurred vision, followed by what seemed to be a seizure. He hit his head hard on a coffee table as he fell and lay unconscious on the floor, with no one nearby to assist him. For 2 families, the fallout might be catastrophic. There is nothing more suspicious about the time. For months, there have been speculations that actor Scott Clifton would be leaving the part he has been playing since 2010. Fans worry that Liam's medical issue may be paving the way for his permanent exit, given that he will have much less screen time throughout 2024 and that head writer Brad Bell has apparently confirmed no plans for the character this year. Liam's special place among several families is what makes this especially difficult. Liam is the father of both Kelly, with Steffy Forrester, and Beth, with Hope Logan, unlike other characters who may be written off with a simple relocation out of town. Douglas Forrester has also looked up to him as a father figure. The Forrester, Logan, and Spencer families would all be affected by his abrupt absence, especially if it were permanent. After the harrowing experience of being kidnapped by Luna, Steffy has just lately found stability with Finn. Without her father present, how would she manage to raise Kelly? And what about Hope, who continues to co-parent Beth with Liam despite working on being independent following unsuccessful relationships? Bill's remorse might change him forever. The effect on Bill himself might be the most severe. If Liam's condition turns out to be deadly or chronically incapacitating, Bill will have to live with the knowledge that those were the last words he said to his son. Their last conversation concluded with Liam being disowned, his father's final words calling him dead. Dollar Bill can get into a destructive cycle or even undergo a complete transformation as a result of the guilt. Would this be the catastrophe that ultimately pierces Bill's tough veneer and permanently alters him? Would he point the finger at himself or turn his anger on Luna, whom he shielded from his own son's misdeeds while protecting her? Death appears to be the most dramatic conclusion, but the history of soap operas points to forgetfulness as an alternative. Do you recall how Quinn persuaded Liam, who was suffering from amnesia, that they were Adam and Eve in that isolated cabin? In a similar vein, this medical emergency might erase Liam's memories, enabling him to move past the hurt caused by his father's deception and opening up new plot points. Liam, who suffers from amnesia, may be unable to recall his complex past with Hope, Steffy, or his kids. The character would still appear on the canvas, but his relationships would be drastically altered, giving him a new beginning. Still, it's unclear if this plot is preparing for Scott Clifton's exit after 14 years or if it's just a big change for the character. With Luna's actions having unforeseen consequences and Steffy confronting Bill about Liam in future episodes, the answers might be revealed sooner rather than later. Bill blasted, Liam's medical crisis, and Brooke's request. Here are the spoilers for Friday, April 3, 2025's episode of The Bold and the Beautiful. Fans can anticipate that Liam Spencer will be located following his collapse in tomorrow's episode. Steffy Forrester Finnegan, however, places the blame on Bill Spencer. Additionally, Brooke Logan is asking Ridge Forrester for a favor. Let's talk about what will happen in the upcoming episode of the CBS soap opera as you continue reading. Hope Logan's ambiguity. Brooke will question where Hope Logan, Annika Noel, is going next in tomorrow's episode. Hope still holds her mother responsible for her demise and refuses to return home. Hope actually places the blame on everyone but herself, including Brooke and Carter Walton, Lawrence St. Victor. Hope's behavior was predicted by Katie Logan to worsen before improving. Throughout her life, Hope has relied on her mother. Brooke is now unsure of Hope's next course of action. The appeal of Brooke Logan. It will be impossible for Brooke to do nothing for her daughter. Brooke is aware of Hope's deep attachment to the fashion brand. Hope doesn't even want to go home at the moment because she has no employment and no clear path. Ridge will be asked to do Brooke a favor. Is Hope's return to Forrester Creations related to this favor? Steffy Forrester Finnegan, Jacqueline McInnes would never do that, even if Ridge gave his approval. Spencer's collapse, Liam. Bill stormed out of the room, leaving Liam alone while fans watched. After having a seizure, Liam fell and struck his head. Bill will eventually return and discover his son lying on the ground. Steffy will be informed about her ex-husband's condition when Liam is brought to the hospital. They do have a child together, after all. B&B spoilers, Brooke's request, Bill's outrage, and Liam's medical emergency. Critiquing Bill Spencer. According to tomorrow's spoilers on The Bold and the Beautiful, Steffy and Bill had another altercation. It will be about Liam this time. The tension undoubtedly contributed to Liam's seizure, even if Bill was obviously not the cause. Steffy has a way of making people feel worse off, but Bill will likely feel bad enough. Steffy will also accuse Luna Nozawa, Lisa Yamada, of being responsible for Liam's illness. Liam has been acting strangely ever since the Luna truth was revealed, Steffy may think. Bill is powerless to change the past, but is there anything he can do to influence Luna's future? Keep an eye out because Liam's breakdown might be the wake-up call Bill needs. Bill and Steffy face off, a battle of fear, loyalty, and family disintegration. In the April 4, 2025, episode of The Bold and the Beautiful, Steffy Forrester and Bill Spencer's feud erupts when Steffy storms into Bill's mansion, her rage stoked by his careless decision to pardon Luna Nozawa, a convicted murderer whose release jeopardizes not only Steffy's family but also the tenuous harmony of Los Angeles's elite circles. In addition to years of unresolved bitterness over Bill's manipulative habits and disregard for family safety, Steffy's encounter with him is a masterclass in pent-up anger and maternal anxiety. The seriousness of Bill's conduct is highlighted by the fact that just days prior, his conflict with his son Liam had turned into a violent brawl that left Liam unconscious, his head hitting a coffee table after falling from the strain of their quarrel 18. With a mixture of venom and desperation, Steffy approaches Bill, still grieving from Luna's violent past, which includes her attempted murder of Steffy and her kidnapping of Kelly, and demands an explanation for why he put Luna's freedom ahead of the safety of his own family. With a voice trembling with a mixture of betrayal and dread for her children, Kelly and Finn's boy, who now face possible danger from Luna's unpredictable wrath 16, Steffy rages, echoing Liam's earlier allegations, "You let a psychopath back into society." Subtextual history permeates the encounter, Steffy's continued concern for Liam in spite of their strained romantic history, and Bill's tendency to put power plays ahead of paternal duty. Steffy reveals the underlying cracks in the Spencer family dynamic as she accuses Bill of putting Liam in danger, both physically and mentally. Following Liam's hospitalization, which was a direct result of their heated dispute about Luna's pardon 17, Bill's explanation that Luna presented no genuine threat becomes flimsy. Steffy's anxiety is evident not only for Liam's recuperation but also for the wider ramifications of Bill's behavior. Luna, who is now free, has already started to control others around her, focusing on Will Spencer and arguing with Electra Forrester, raising the possibility of yet another violent outburst 67. Steffy accuses Bill of playing with their lives to feed his own savior complex, a dramatic conflict between his flippant attitude and her maternal instincts. Knowing that Bill's choice has ruined the Spencer heritage by alienating not only Liam but also Wyatt and Will, she lashes out, "You've turned this family into a target." Dramatic irony abounds in this scene as Bill, who formerly took such satisfaction in defending his empire and offspring, is now accused of being their biggest danger. Steffy's showdown with Bill is not just about Luna, it's also a reckoning with years of Bill's toxic swagger and emotional neglect. "You pushed him to his limit, and now he's paying the price," she said in reference to Liam's breakdown. Incorporates medical urgency into their already tense debate, highlighting the collateral impact of Bill's decisions 18. In the meantime, the showdown is clouded by the phantom of Luna, who has the ability to rekindle pandemonium. The stakes are raised when Steffy warns that Finn or their kids might be Luna's next target, making Bill consider whether his mercy toward Luna has actually put his family in danger 67. However, underlying the rage is a heartbreaking fragility. Steffy's declaration that she still cares for Liam, a man who is entangled with her due to co-parenting and shared trauma, gives her outburst more emotional depth and frames her encounter with Bill as a fight to protect the brittle shards of love and trust in their broken family, rather than merely a fight for safety 14. Because of the obvious contrast between Bill's near-sociopathic attachment to outsiders like Luna and his failure to protect those closest to him, the unresolved conflict between Steffy and Bill reflects the show's larger themes of legacy and atonement. "This isn't over," Steffy says as she storms out, hinting at an impending reckoning that might reshape alliances, spark new grudges, or even result in fatalities in the complex network of Bold and the Beautiful Los Angeles 37. In this conflict, Steffy is not only a scolded ally or watchful mother, but also the moral core of a story that is going awry, a voice of reason in a society where ego and power all too frequently overshadow humanity. With his mansion now a golden cage of remorse and sorrow, Bill must deal with the fallout from his arrogance. Medical emergency ahead, Liam's fight with Bill taking a dangerous turn. The confrontation is a microcosm of the show's enduring appeal, a mix of high-stakes drama, familial loyalty tested to its limits, and the haunting question of whether redemption is possible for those who repeatedly choose power over love. Liam was pacing the linoleum floor, his sneakers squeaking with every desperate turn, his mind replaying the scene that had descended into chaos just hours earlier. Bill, his older brother, slumped against the kitchen counter, face ashen and clammy, one hand clutching his chest while the other swatted weakly at Liam's attempts to help, their usual sibling rivalry erupting into something far darker. The sterile, fluorescent glare of the hospital waiting room did little to calm the storm raging inside Liam. Bill had yelled, "I'm fine," but his cold perspiration on his forehead and his heavy breathing betrayed him. His obstinate unwillingness to accept the seriousness of his symptoms escalated into a violent altercation as Liam, caught between dread and rage, attempted to yank him into the car. "You fool, you're having a heart attack." Bill, always the contrarian, had snarled and knocked the phone out of Liam's hand as he dialed 911, the gadget tumbling beneath the refrigerator in a brutal metaphor for the situation's hopelessness. Liam had screamed, his voice sharpened by desperation. Now, the guilt tormented Liam as he awaited the physician's news. Had he been too combative? When Bill stumbled toward the door, he insisted he would walk it off. Should he have tackled him to the ground? With words like STEMI and critical occlusion, the physician's solemn tones emphasized what Liam already understood: every minute of delay had been a risk of death. However, behind the guilt lurked a deep, unsaid fear. This was not merely a medical catastrophe, but the disintegration of a relationship already shattered by years of animosity, with Liam's self-righteousness and Bill's reckless bravado clashing like mismatched puzzle pieces. Yes, the altercation had been physical, with Liam pinning Bill to the ground in a last-ditch bear hold and Bill's fist striking Liam's jaw in a fit of frenzied defiance, but the true threat was the unspoken words that were festering between them. What if Liam told his brother, "Stop being such a coward," as his final words? The intensive care unit's double doors opened, and a surgeon emerged with her mask drawn down, eyes tired but slightly relieved. Bill had made it through the emergency angioplasty, but the journey ahead would be difficult, his heart muscle injured, his way of life in need of change. However, as Liam walked toward the recovery room with his own heart pounding, he pondered whether Bill's near-death encounter would heal their wounds or if the altercation had ruined something beyond repair. A medical crisis was avoided, but the emotional one lurked, unsolved, and far more hazardous. Liam hovered in the doorway, staring at his brother's comatose figure as the heart monitor's beep rang like a countdown. The battle lines of their dispute were still visible,